This conference will now be recorded.
All right, evening. It's 6 o'clock. We'll start the zoning board meeting here. We have two cases that it sounds like you guys are looking to continue.
You can build wherever you want.
Well, I'm gonna behave, Mike.
I'm trying to be sure if there's any problems, it's not coming from me.
I just, I have a prior engagement, so I just, if it goes long and I can't stay, then I just want to make sure that you're aware that I'm not just leave. But I want to see if I can proceed, if I can.
Okay, we'll start with his just because he's first up on the agenda, and I'm not even sure if we can hold your case tonight. Because it's a special exception, 3 of the board members have to have visited the site, and I don't know that we have that, so I kind of want to go on record here. I know Brian did. Scott, did you say whether you did it or not?
That's all. I did not get out.
Go by. I haven't personally seen it, not in the context of what is being asked here. And you said you did not visit it?
No.
And you did not. So we at best have 2 people that have visited it. So we'll have to continue it to next month and schedule a site visit with you where you can kind of explain what you're proposing there.
All right,
Is there a time, a date specifically we can set now?
whatever you want. I have to admit, I am a little annoyed with being notified of this right now because I passed on going to my granddaughter's graduation tonight because I was coming to this meeting.
Fair enough, that's understandable.
Would you move up to the mic?
Sure.
Thank you.
I, and I spoke to them this, because they contacted me this morning about it, coming here tonight. I told them that I just wanted to know where I was on the schedule and things like that, so I could try to get to my granddaughter's graduation. Now, she's only graduated from 4th grade. It's not like a high school graduation, but it is slightly annoying.
I can appreciate that. That's totally understandable. I'm sorry that you missed that.
So I guess other than that, you just pick a time. I'll work whatever the board wants. I'm happy to meet with you if there, whatever you want.
Okay. Jan, this is the first time we've ever had to do this, so we just can pick any day and any time that works for
Absolutely.
at least 3 of us, and that's what works. Anything work better for anyone else?
Open all the any days.
I'm open every day, pretty much.
Any time of the day?
Yeah.
People like evenings better? Evenings better? 6 p.m. work? Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah,
You want me to just arbitrarily pick a date here?
might as well.
Do you want to
At least we'll
do?
have 3 show up there for sure.
Yep.
We'll guarantee them that.
Do we want to do next Thursday? Does that work?
Nope, not for me, not Thursdays.
Next Wednesday?
Yep.
The 23rd, does that work for everyone?
That does not work
That works
for
for
me.
you?
That doesn't
It does
work.
not work for you, okay. You guys said anytime.
Well, yeah.
Tuesdays I'm available. I'm available.
I'm a contractor, so I set my
Anytime on
own
Tuesday.
schedule or whatever.
I have Twilight League on Thursday night. so-
How about the following week, 28, 29, 30?
28 works for me, 30 works for me.
What
days?
days are those?
Those are Monday and a
Monday,
Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, end of the month.
She said she's off Tuesday. Why don't we hit for Tuesday? That gets her.
29?
Yeah,
All right.
that's fine.
And we can do earlier if you want.
Yeah, we can do anytime. I mean,
What works for you?
Doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter, the 29th at 6 o'clock works for everyone? Unless you guys want earlier, I'm
I
just,
could do earlier.
want to do 5 o'clock?
5 p.m.?
Huh? Yeah, it's fine with me.
Okay.
So that's the 29th?
June 29th at 5 p.m.
Should we meet at the premise, at the place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
so why not, yeah.
And you're gonna meet at the site?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And when is the next zoning board meeting?
The next zoning board meeting is July 20th at the same time and place.
Okay.
Sorry I missed your graduation tonight. Apologize for that.
I'll make a motion to continue.
Yeah, make a motion to continue.
Wouldn't that be the 13th? The third?
I have it as a reoccurring thing, and I think it's the third Tuesday of every month, right?
That's right.
So it's the 20th.
You are correct.
I'll make a motion that we continue ZB case 21-111 for Charles Sargent, 528 Laconia Road, map R10-9, mixed use.
I'll second it.
It's been seconded. Any discussion?
Until, I need dates.
Oh,
Until the next meeting.
To July 20th.
July 20th.
And the second came from me. Yeah.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? And it passes. Janice, is there a way for us as a zoning board to make scheduling a site visit before hearing it a requirement so that we can avoid this in the future?
We can certainly ask, talk about you can have me about that.
Okay.
I personally think we should have, as a group, if we're going to hear a case that has to be a site plan, that we meet with the owner.
I think that makes
Just so
sense.
that
And
way, there's
beforehand.
nothing, it's beforehand, so it's all clear.
Right.
So when we said here, we have a clear, the individual has a chance to present what he wants to do. We're able to hear, and then we come here and we can have the whole thing in front of the public, so we have a clear understanding.
Yeah.
I appreciate that consideration.
Yeah.
So, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your
Mr.
time.
Sargent.
As I said, it's only a fourth grade graduation, so if I started that at all.
It's still
No,
a
that's
graduation.
still a graduation.
Yeah,
Still want it to not happen again.
It's, well, it's my granddaughter, and I only have one, so I try to make myself available for her on most occasions. Thank you. Have a great day.
Good night.
And that's,
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Oh, good call. Good call. Well, I knew that there was a time thing there, so I was trying to,
What's that?
we have to approve the minutes of last meeting.
Yeah.
Which, we'll do that real quick. And then we can do it at the end. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, you can do it at the end. You can do that anytime.
All right, we'll move to case 21-12. I got Charles.
Take the hot seat, Chuck. We'll put the power to it just a
I'm
minute.
gonna skip out of here and get a margarita. Just had a rough day, so anything he wants to do, is good with me.
Sounds good.
Sounds
All right,
good.
Mike, you take
If I
care.
need
See
some
you,
help
Andrew.
driving nails, let me know. As long as I don't get out of the room. Thank you.
Need extra park, then you know where we are.
It's 2111.
Nice.
2111 was
This is
Charles Sargent.
2112. See Carl Sargent,
Yeah.
that's the case. Yeah, that's true. This is this case, 2012, so it is 12.
Okay, oh,
here it says 11. I know, but it should be 12.
okay.
I think you see the 2 underneath.
No, I think Brian's right, because the one before Sargent's 2110.
10, and someone said it was 11.
Oh, well, I took it off this.
Yep.
Right.
I took it off our sheet. That was
So that's why
showing
I'm
here.
sitting there going,
Yeah, you're correct.
Just as a matter of like
Clarification.
clarification.
We move to take to the next meeting, case 21-10, not 2111. It's wrong on our agenda for tonight. That's what I was reading it on.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good catch.
So we are hearing 2111 now.
Right.
Yeah, but look, it still says 2112 on that.
Yeah, the agendas are,
Well, that isn't the agenda.
The agendas are off.
the agendas are off, the applications are
the
way.
application's right. I'm assuming.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
it's-
according to the application, it's 2111.
So you have to restate.
So we are going to start hearing case 2111. Charles.
I'm not sure, I've never gone through this, I'm not sure what you need, I guess.
Yeah, so usually you just give us a spiel, talk about what you're trying to do. You go through there's 5 criteria as far as getting the zoning board adjustment from it. And you kind of talk about what it is you're doing, how those 5 criteria apply to your situation.
Basically what I guess the quick rundown is, I have an existing business that has a 40 by 40 garage that has 1 bay in it. Over time, we've grown where the 1 bay hinders the amount of operation that we can do. I guess I would like to put in another addition on the back side of this of 60 by 80. There is an existing concrete pad that I put in a few years back part of this building will be on that pad, and then there'll be existing concrete board for the back part of the thing. What I want to do is have 2 working bays in there. There'll be 3 bays, 2 bays, and then the center would be open. And the back part of that would be storage for automotive parts that I have now in just different locations. So I'm trying to consolidate in one spot, so basically I'm more efficient, I guess is what the quick version.
So are you taking buildings down?
I'm not taking buildings down. The only thing I use right now is like on the property, there's like some storage, like a tractor trailer, bodies, you know what I mean? The beds. Boxes, yeah, that are stored parts in it. A few of them will be leaving because I can utilize the storage more efficient instead of having to go here, there, and there, essentially.
So where your building is now, Chuck, your blue building,
Yep,
where is this going to be an adjacent? As you drive in, you face your blue building, you got your door that you go in the
you
front.
wouldn't see the building.
Okay.
It's going to be attached to the backside of the property towards like my house, the property next door. Basically, it would cut my building in half as far as the addition and then go to the right. So essentially, you wouldn't see it from the road, I guess.
So this go about behind where your dad's house was?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like further, it's behind the shop that I have.
So just to make sure that I have the understanding everybody does. So this is, it's the salvage yard itself that's not allowed in that zoning, correctly?
It's grandfathered.
But it's grandfathered, and because he's expanding the use of a grandfathered property, that's what the exception is for. Okay.
Special exception, I guess, is one thing. I'm not looking to go outside of my property. I'm just looking to put up another building. That's really what
And I guess, should I read Leanne's notes into record? Is that what she wanted out of this here? No, okay.
I mean, we certainly, you know, reference them in some way, you know, commentary about it.
Okay.
How big is the existing building now?
40 by,
And the existing slab, 60 by 70?
correct. That's out behind the shop.
Yep. And that,
That's basically like preparing it, you know what I mean, to go in.
so you're gonna expand the slab
I'm going to expand.
towards your house?
Correct.
So come up here, Chuck, so you can kind of explain.
Sure.
Here's where it shows where your shop is now with the
Yeah.
picture, okay? And this is your existing
is
shop,
there.
which is here, right here.
Right, so
Correct.
it would be, this is kind of more, should be essentially like this on this diagram.
But your concrete pad goes out this way.
My concrete pad goes like here.
Okay,
So basically, this would be existing and then out here would be
so
additional.
this addition's going this way.
Correct, correct. And this
And
is
it's gonna
our
go behind
property.
here somewhere.
Yep, exactly, like split this in half, not to this extent, but
And your dad's house is here.
according to this, my dad is here.
Is this
Okay, yes.
is this the pad here?
Can I blow this up?
Yep.
This is my site. Yes, right here. So
Okay.
basically, they're buses that we use for storage. All those buses would be gone. And again, my dad had the business and they worked because they were free, I guess, and they worked for storage. But like in even one of these boxes, you can fit 3 buses full of stuff because we rack them and shelf them and stuff like that. So essentially, it would kind of go back almost this section where the buses are, not any further, but like essentially it would come straight off from this, all these buses would be gone and then it would come back here, not to the edge of the pad, but like right there.
And so that back garage door you have now that you come out of your
Would
shop
be
go
attached.
into here.
Right.
Is this building going to have any other like facilities like bathrooms? Power.
That's
Just
all
a
I want,
big
right?
workshop is all
Yep.
that's right.
That's just
And your side setbacks?
Oh, he's way outside of them.
yeah.
Is it?
And like
Because he owns both lots.
I own,
But that
It
wouldn't
wouldn't
matter.
change.
No, I own two lots, but like it's the setback. I
Oh,
think
yeah, that's true.
They told me, is it 20 foot? I would, it'd be beyond that. It would be more than whatever the setback. I'm not looking to ask for any variance on setback. If it comes down to the setback is 20 feet, then it'll be more than 20 feet. If it's 30 feet, then I'll make sure that I'm not looking to add or change. the
You're not
setback.
looking to encroach. the
I'm not,
setback.
right, I'm not looking, whatever the setback is, I'll make sure
You'll
that
be
it's, if this building doesn't, because I think it's 20 feet and I'm not, maybe if I'm not.
I think a sideline is 20 feet in that area.
But to me, I think right now it's probably 30 or 40 feet.
Okay.
You know, so, but I mean, if that's something that I wouldn't, if it doesn't, I would.
No, that was just in your drawing. I couldn't.
No, that's kind of like, I had another, actually, there was another drawing that I did. I don't have it, but.
Yeah, I have that one, but I was
Okay.
looking at.
Well, yeah, no, and I had it, I just added on.
About Eric,
Janice, does the expansion of an existing use
Yeah, that's
have
what I
to
was
go
like,
through
if
the
you
five
look up here,
criteria?
this is 110 feet across here, so, and this building's 80 feet,
You-
so
you
you'd
need to
have
go through the
30
five.
anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, if he does that.
This is how the
That's
road
just a
is,
sketch. That's like a
like,
block.
so it's like this is how this Clark Road comes up here. So this is more of like the design.
Yeah, this is not a special exception. This is just something that is, in the ordinance says that it has to be by the, by the-
Okay, but it doesn't need to meet the five criteria the way a regular, okay.
I misunderstood.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, because it's what it states right here. It's a zoning board approval for an expansion of a non-conforming use to allow the construction of an addition to an existing salvage yard.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's all he's looking for. And as long
Yeah.
as your setbacks are great, then.
That would be on his building permit,
Hmm.
as far as the setback.
Well, I was just looking at his application didn't have those five
I didn't.
those
have
five
it.
steps, and it's because they don't apply to it. So
No.
that's why.
So I guess all we have to do is approve.
Did we want to hear from the?
Yes, we do definitely. I just want to make sure you guys are,
When are you gonna do
We're
this,
done.
Chuck? When are you
I'm looking,
anticipating?
I haven't got a contractor. This is like the first of a few steps, so I guess I didn't want to put the cart before the horse, I guess, so I haven't
Yeah.
got there, but then from here I would meet the plan.
Right, if it's approved tonight, you would have to go to the planning.
I
board.
have to still go to the planning board.
because this doesn't have a site plan and stuff. Right? How high of a building is it?
Right now, I think it's 15 feet, I think is what my existing, and it's going to be, I don't have like a height, but I mean, because I don't have a site, you know what I mean? I don't have the building design. It's going to be more of like what's efficient, I guess, and I can, you know, it's going to be at least the same height. I don't have the.
Are you gonna have lifts in this one?
I'm gonna have two lifts. The one that I have right now is like, I'm gonna say 15 feet, and I have one lift in it. And so it would be, I'm assuming similar height as that, but I don't have an exact height, and I don't want this thing like.
Sure. Yeah.
You might want to consider adding a condition of a maximum height or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was, I guess, wondering at, just because we don't have like a building in front of us. So, not that I think that his intention is to go and build a 3-story
No, it's not.
car maintenance facility. I
Yeah.
just wonder if
Would
we
that
should.
fall
No,
to the
but-
planning board or would that fall to us?
I was under the understanding that would have to be in my next phase, because I would
I
have
would
to
think that would
propose.
fall to the planning board.
If it goes through you, then I have to propose, from what I understand, an actual building. You know what I mean?
Because I'm sure the planning board has a maximum height, and if he exceeds what the maximum
Then
height
you'd have
is in
to
that
come back
area,
to
then
us.
he'd have to come here for an exception to that height.
That makes sense. Is that all tracking? Are we?
I would think so. So I would think that would probably follow then when he goes in front of the planning process.
Just
And then he'd have to actually have plans and he's showing them.
What is
I
built?
plan on, if I get approved, I plan on having that, but I just
Sure.
sure I didn't go through all that. I know that there was some.
Sure.
No butters online or anything.
just move to that.
Mike and Andrea,
Yeah.
they're
The only
butters.
three is the only one.
Are you guys good with your questions?
Should open it
Yeah.
to
No.
the public.
I don't know. We're going to open it up for public comment now. Are you guys abutters for this or waiting to speak? No? Okay. Anybody online that's in a butter for this case? I'd say there are none. And we did have one abutter showed up and
Yep.
spoke in favor of it.
Spoke in favor.
Which butter is he? Just for the
Mike
record.
Rivers.
That was Mike Rivers, Mike's Auto.
Mike's Auto. Okay, so he's kind of on the south
No.
side.
Yeah.
He's off the main road. I'll just go ahead and make a motion.
I think we have to technically close it to public discussion
Close it.
and then
I don't see any,
discuss amongst ourselves. Anybody have anything?
I don't see any problem with it.
Hang up.
He's
No,
got an
were you
existing
But did you want to
business.
close it?
Were you going
I
to put
did.
a height restriction on it or not?
Yes.
I think we'll let the planning board
Yeah.
address
I don't know if I said it loud enough.
it. You guys call it to them.
Sure.
And then if he wants to go higher than they allow in that zone, then he'll have to come back to us.
Sounds good.
Let them address that issue. I think it keeps it up, keeps it clean.
Yeah.
So,
We can just close it to public comment, right? I'm still getting the swing of how this runs. We don't have to like vote on that or anything.
no,
Okay.
don't just close it. There was no public comment anyway.
Yeah, I'm on board. It's the same thing that he's been doing.
I mean,
You're doing the
it's an
same thing
existing
outside of it
business.
right now.
He's just looking to, and he's actually improving the property because he's
Yep.
gonna get rid of storage trailers and go with inside of the building.
Yep.
So,
This is gonna go to the planning board. It is a large, it's like 300% increase in building size, but I don't think it's a significant, it's not a
It's a good
300%
sized lot.
increase in operation.
Right.
you can, I'll make a motion then. I'll make a motion that we grant ZBA case 21-11, which is looking for approval for expansion of a non-conforming use to allow the construction of an addition at an existing salvage yard.
I could second that.
It's been seconded. Those in favor?
Aye.
No, nobody's opposed. Passes. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you for your time.
Have a good night.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good night.
Right.
Just hanging out to listen in?
Yeah, when the meeting's closed, I have a few questions, just procedural questions, so I thought, I don't know if I can do it now, or I don't want to.
Yeah.
It does, yeah,
I don't know
sure,
why you
yep.
can't.
Did you just vote on ZB 21-11?
The agenda is incorrect. So there's a little bit of a typo between the applications and the
We
agenda.
had cases in front of us tonight, was the first case was 10, second case was 11.
Everything
It was
up.
wrong on the agenda. The agenda you have
Yeah.
is wrong. It's, the
It's up
first
by
case was the 10, the second case was the 11. We corrected that. Yep,
Close enough,
thank you.
right?
Well, no, it has to be right, I mean, because it's in the record.
You were here for the first case. So after you're sitting there going,
Wait a minute. Yeah, we'll hear your questions. You don't have to wait till the end. I mean, we're just going to do.
Okay, so we are the abutters to the Charles Sutter proposal. My first question is, he's leasing that piece of property, so is he the one who's totally responsible, not the owner of that piece of property?
I'm going to write this question down because I couldn't answer that off the cuff, but we're going to have to find an answer to it. I would imagine that by leasing it, he's accepting the responsibility for it, but I would be speculating on that.
It will probably be a contractual, however their contract is for their lease.
Shouldn't we see that though? Because it is a valid question
Right.
when you think about it, because he's making a change to the lot. He's coming in here
And they
Make
might
a
not be
change
within
for
the
the
lease
lot.
that you can.
that.
Can we debate this right now?
Well, no.
because he's not here.
I think when
Yeah.
being asked the question, I think we just need to make sure we're aware
We
of
get
that.
an
You're gonna
answer.
be back here next month, I take it? Okay. No, I think it's a valid question, and it's, you have a right to ask the question. There's no question about that.
Well, I think another question is, on his application, there was one known objection, and I wondered what that known objection, and I'm not trying to split him, I'm just trying to have enough information, so.
Yeah, we couldn't talk about it till that case was presented.
Oh,
Right.
okay, so,
Next month.
I'm not sure
Next
we
month.
know that.
Like,
What's that?
I'm not sure we know, but I'm certain he wrote that down.
Yeah, we couldn't speculate on it. We'd have to wait till the case was here.
And of course, on his plan, we also had roughed in a farm stand. And he was saying that he was thinking, maybe not right now, but as time goes on, he has a 5-year lease. But if I understand correctly, he would have to come back here for any additional he wanted to do.
Correct. So the way that he will only get a variance for what is in the specific variance request. Anything outside of that, he'd have to put in another variance request for.
And I guess my last thought is that there's been a lot of development there, since we've owned the property. My father actually owned Terry's Memorials, which was a building that's now Fast Cash. So, and actually he sold that little chunk, not to use it, but it used to be a Dairy Queen or a Dairy Milk.
See, I told you it was something like that.
Do you
I remember when it was that.
Yeah,
I told him that. I said there was fast food or something there before.
good old days.
Yep.
So in any case, so we own the next chunk of property, kind of like an arrow, the frontage, and then it goes up to the veterinary. And that piece of land, of course, we would mind selling it ourselves, but we basically have been holding it as an investment, waiting for the right time or the right person, or however you want to look at it. But since we've been there, that whole lot here development behind us with all, and they had put in a lot of culverts because of wetlands and so on and so forth. So it's an interesting piece of property, let's put it that way. And I don't know myself about the boundaries exactly on, and this probably has nothing to do with you people. This is probably with planning, not zoning, to know about the boundaries of land. Because I think what happens sometimes in my mind, because we're not around all the time, and you put up what you want, and then you need a little more space, and that's where you put the dumpster and a little more space. And I just want to make sure that everyone stays clean on their piece of property.
Yeah, the way to do that would be to get it surveyed.
Yeah.
And have them come out and survey it. And probably planning board would be the official mechanism to go through that. Because the boundary lines would only really come to us if somebody wanted to do something within those setbacks. And then you'd have to know what those boundary lines were and that sort of thing.
That property had to have been surveyed though before they ever built that development out there.
There's pins set.
Yeah, I was gonna say that had to
Yeah,
be.
when Lockmere was built, the apartment complex, I would imagine that their property all got surveyed.
So would all those documents be handy for you? Or they're not necessary for you?
They're handy for you as well. I mean, if there's something that you wanted to see, you can stop by and ask them to do a file.
Yeah, go to the land use office and come in and see what they have on file.
Sounds good. We're not trying to stir trouble, we just want to be.
No, for sure.
No, you have a
Yeah.
vested interest, you have a piece of land there and you have a vested interest in it. You just want to make sure everything's where it should be. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, asking questions is
No,
encouraged.
I mean, that's why we're here. You need to ask the question.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Okay.
We're going to come and see you on the 20th.
Yeah, we'll see you next month.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
If you wait a minute, I'll make you a copy of the wetland, how far you have to be from a wetland.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you.
So we have to approve minutes.
Yep.
And then I'd like to do something a little more formal about site visits.
I think we ought to talk about that,
Yeah.
have some discussion on that. Because I don't think what happened tonight should happen again.
No,
It's a very,
It is.
Oh, you have to
yeah,
wake it up.
as you say, but pick that up.
and I never was given what a natural site visit is. I stopped in my truck and looked at the one on that road, on the side road, that guy with that small walk. Remember, and there wasn't-
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I went by that a couple of times,
Yep,
just
so
stayed
did
in
I.
my truck. I never got out and walked the piece.
And can we get on more of the property?
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean,
I think you have to have, well, that's what we'll spell out.
can we? That's why I never did. I
Just
sat
to
in
show
my
up
truck
and start
look
walking
at it.
around, right?
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna start walking around? What are you doing here? Who are you?
It's nice, like we discussed, having Mr. Sergeant there, and he can show us what he's planning on doing.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that should happen all the time. That's my point.
Yeah.
Not only is it fair to the town, but it's fair to the person that's coming in front of us.
Gives a fair to butters that they have a solid
it's-
idea.
The U-Haul was a perfect example. That back land was right up like that.
Right,
But if you sit and look at the map, you don't see
you
that.
wouldn't know.
You don't see that. even an aerial shot, even if you look on your phone, you don't see it.
Yeah, you'd have to pull up a
You don't see
topo
that. You
map.
gotta be sitting there to see it going right up. That's why I asked them, what are they gonna do in the back? But, like I said, we've never been given really thorough instructions on what a site visit actually needs. What are we supposed to be, how are we supposed to get out there?
My
'Cause I
understanding has
haven't-
always been like, do you have an a solid grasp on
I
what
mean,
the,
I know what that property is, and I
property
drove
is.
by it. I drove by it twice today.
right?
But that road, I mean,
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I really don't want to stop.
Good night.
unless
Have a
it's
good
going
night.
off the road,
Yeah.
Because you'll get rear-ended up, especially with a motorcycle.
Thank you. Can't go down those.
But I told you there used to be, an old- I knew it was either a tasty breeze or something.
All right, let's do minutes and get that out of the way. Do we have a motion to approve last month's minutes?
I'm gonna abstain, that was not you.
She makes a motion, second it?
Yep.
We have a motion and a second to approve last month's minutes. Those in favor?
Sorry, I didn't give you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ann made the motion. Brian seconded it. Those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And
All
all ayes have it. Two abstainings?
Yeah.
3 ayes and 2 abstains. Awesome. So we'll have to ask her, maybe Janice can tell us what exactly constitutes a site visit.
Site visit, you're gonna obviously have reviewed the plan, see, what you're looking at, and then you can walk around.
Do you have to have walked around? Like, is driving by the property considered acceptable?
I think that driving by is acceptable.
I mean, there's not much there to see.
No,
Oh, there isn't?
no.
No, on this one, there's not much there to see. I mean, I know what was there before. It was an old trailer that had a fast food they served ice cream and stuff out of there. And that's been gone. That building's been gone. It was like a prefab type of building. And that's been gone for quite some time.
I mean,
Example might be, you can
So the
see where the
lot's
wetlands-
grown up quite a bit since when it was,
Looking at this particular drawing, I mean, you can see that there's some wetlands on there. You might want to ask him, where are you putting this building? I want to say it's really to just become familiar with the lay of the land.
Yeah.
And Ian, maybe where they're placed, especially seeing, there isn't a building there now. Is he planning on putting them in the same spot, or is he?
Not necessarily for his case, but in general, so we clarify for ourselves as a board, what constitutes a site visit. And it's obviously some cases it's more in depth, but I don't want to sit
but
here
to
and
treat
say,
everybody the same, shouldn't we, in all fairness, I think to treat everyone the same, we should have a meeting with the applicant
at the
as
site.
a group at the site, so that we all see exactly where it's gonna be put, okay? What they're talking to put, where it's gonna be put on the lot, what the lot looks like. We could see then for ourselves, is there wetlands? Is the water coming up through the ground? Because there's one time they can say that it's wet, but there's no water, but then there's other times and they say it's not wetlands, but yet you go there and it's wet.
Right.
Because like this woman was saying, because of development out back, they've changed the water where it's flowing to and put culverts in. And because of that development, does it make this land wetter?
Right.
And that can happen very easily.
So is that what we want as a group, that
Yeah.
3 people have to meet at the site with the applicant to constitute a site visit?
Yeah, if it requires.
Okay, that's what
I think any case that comes in front of us that requires that, I think it's benefit to us and benefit to them.
So then do we want to try to squeeze it in the week, the week when the information becomes available to before their scheduled date?
I
Right,
think
once we
should.
get the packet and then,
Yeah,
Yeah.
would make no sense before. huh?
right.
Yeah, because then you could
It's a short
cancel, they
window
could
of
cancel.
information.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
have to
Receiving
come
the
to the meeting.
information, getting it to you.
Yeah.
To make you aware. But certainly, I mean, anytime after you receive the packet, if you want to designate a set date.
Well, I
Okay,
think-
well, here's,
I think in all fairness, the second the application comes in and we have the dates here within our schedule, okay? So like on next month's meeting is the 20th
Correct.
of July, but the deadline's the 2nd of July.
That's correct.
So when that comes into the office, and if it's going, I mean, you ought to be able to make a determination pretty quick that it's going to retire a site plan visit, a site visit, I should say, okay? And if that's the case, then it goes out to the chair,
and I can
that
schedule
this
it.
is, and then you can schedule it, chair, through the people.
I'm on board with that.
and get whether, you can call me. That's the best way to go. Because I screw up the emails more than that.
Okay.
So, but, and then we can set up, you just tell me what day, and I can make myself available almost any time.
Okay, so then that's what we'll do as a formal going forward.
Yeah.
If we can, the day after the application's closed, if there's any special exceptions, just let the chair know. We'll schedule a site visit, make sure there's at least
Go
3
through the
people.
chair and just set up because you're scheduled too. You have a schedule where you're.
Oh, I know what I'm doing for the rest of my life.
I know. So, but every third day, you're not available.
Right,
correct?
right.
So, but set it up, Matt, so that we can go out. I think it's fair for us, and I think it's also fair for the.
Oh, for the applicant, the abutters, that's the fairest thing for everyone.
Keep in mind that we'll have to know about it because I'm going to take it has to be present anytime a meeting, quote unquote, which that includes.
Okay.
Why can't, we can just listen, we're not gonna ask any questions, correct? Is that what, we would be limited to what we could do. We can't ask a question because then we're as a group, it's a meeting, we'd have to notice that, correct? If we're going to do a site plan as more than 3 of us, which that's what Matt's saying,
That's correct.
then that constitutes a meeting of the
That's
ZBA.
correct.
So, but I think that we need to put within that we're just walking the property and let the individual do the talking.
So we couldn't ask any questions while we were there?
It's gonna be tough because the public's not there
Right, you
to
might
hear
want
what
to
we're
take a look
asking. You
at
see
it.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're
we're
supposed to
asking
ask for some
an
clarification.
I
You
know
gotta
more
walk a
about
fine
that. I
line.
think that's something I can look that up and give you a more
It's a fine line you gotta walk.
a better answer maybe than what we can and cannot do.
Okay.
But,
Because it won't be,
Yeah.
you're gonna be there to take minutes?
She was just saying that, yeah, we'd have to let someone there to
I
be,
think if there's more than, I think when you.
Well, if there's 3 of us, it's a meeting.
right,
Simple
so
as that.
I guess you'd have to,
And 3 people have to see it.
At least 3 people, so it forces a meeting, really, when you look at it.
Maybe that's why
To do
it's
it
been done. in the
properly.
past.
maybe that is why it has been,
Like they've never done this, like where all of a sudden they organize.
No, because individually, you could go individually as well.
Right.
Don't think you have to go as a threesome.
right, but 3, you can go on your own, but at least 3 people have to have gone.
That's correct.
Right.
Right.
But I still think if we can put it together to go with the owner.
I think that's the
it's a
best.
much thorough process.
Well, let's just get some clarification on
We'll get some
what
clarification.
we're creating for ourselves, and then we can decide from there.
I think that's fair.
I think it's a great idea, but I think the problem is you're gonna get caught up in that it's a meeting. And then if it gets not approved, someone's gonna get mad.
I think the only thing that's gonna fall, and I could be wrong, but I think where it would have to be posted within the meeting time. It's what, it has to be 2 days or so many days.
I think it's 5 days. It has to be posted on a public website, so.
Okay, it's gotta be posted. Somebody's gotta take official meeting minutes and the public could also attend.
Right.
Okay, so we would be there, but they could be public, so it not only would the landowner or the applicant be there, but an abutter could be there. And it would be perfectly legal, because it's a notice public, which I would have no problem with. I just think it's hard to sit here and have a meeting on something, a piece of land that we haven't, when you actually haven't gone to see.
And perhaps that's why several places do go individually. But I think it's a good question for Leanne, and certainly we can get back to.
Oh, yeah, you can get the answer. I think it can be done. I think it's a little more logistics than what we're putting forward.
Yeah.
Is all. So it might fall that we have to do it on if she's off on Tuesday, so that the girls, either her or Leanne are able to come during the daytime, which would work a little easier.
I think even if we end up with, maybe 2 people go and then one, as long as we're guaranteeing that there is a site, 3 people going before the person comes, that would be the
It was embarrassing tonight to have this individual, and I feel for him, but come in and he could not.
we can't have his case.
We couldn't have his
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
No fault of his.
Yeah.
No fault of his, correct.
And the butters took time out of their night to come
Yep.
do it. Yeah, I don't want to have that.
No, it's just not a good situation.
Anyone got anything else? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion at 6:40 that we adjourn the ZBA meeting.
I second it.
Awesome. Been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Nope. Meeting adjourned. Just gotta turn that.
The takeaways I have is